Hello there. Uh, Excuse me. So I saw Andy, you commented, want to know how I'm doing, but for some reason YouTube isn't showing that comment. I click on it, it takes me to the video, but no comment. I couldn't see the rest of your comment. The longer, I wait between videos or whatever, I noticed back when I was making videos more frequently that the more time in between videos, the harder it was to sort of kickstart, the topics, or just to open up and talk. So, since February, it's really this is close, around the last time I posted anything of substance, I guess. And when it comes to talking about other people, I can't say I've had an issue doing that, but I am, kind of careful to do so. And so there's good news and there's bad news. There's good things and bad things, obviously, as always. And that's like a constant. If there's such a thing, if there ever was such a thing as an absolute, is that there will be good and there will be, bad. But that's a subject that I could go on for a long time, talking about duality and the origin of naming things, good and bad, right and wrong, stuff like that. It's a philosophical debate, philosophical topic. I'm not going to get into that too much. I'll just say that, there's good things and bad things. Some people prefer the bad news first, some people prefer the good news first. And so I'm going to do the bad news first, because this involves a person that prefers to hear the bad news first. And so yeah, since February, I moved to California in February with a bag of clothes and a guitar. It was my birthday, in January. I met another person who had been watching my story, and I did a live stream, sort of an emergency thing. I had a friend that was dying. I wasn't sure if he was going to make it, and he had things that he wanted to give me, and I had no way to get there. At the time, I was living in the recording studio, and my friend who was not doing well had a bunch of stuff he wanted to give the studio. A couple people watched the live stream. It was the middle of the day. This person saw that I was streaming and took a break from her work to go in the bathroom and put in her headphones and listen. And there was I didn't know who it was at first. I got a message on Facebook, and she was willing to help me to get there. We started talking, and I'm not going to share too much. I'll share what I think needs to be shared. But this person, grew up in a cult too, and she's very special to me. We've developed a relationship in the last 6 months. And really before that, you guys know her as Dead Girl, or Femme Mort. And she opened her home to me in a time where I was, I wasn't homeless. I was living in a studio. There's no bathroom or running water or anything like that. I didn't have any money for food. She was sending packages of food, and we talked about a lot. We talked a lot every day. She bought a ticket to come down and visit me on my birthday, and we had a great time in New Orleans. And things at that time were getting very, very difficult. I was also being followed to the studio, and whatever. There's private investigators watching me, and I don't know for how long. I know that it's been on and off intervals. But there was this fucking Jeep that had, my best estimate's like $4 to $5 grand worth of imaging hardware in there, photograph cameras and digital cameras and IR sensors and all kinds of shit. I did some pretty ridiculous maneuvers in my mom's vehicle. She would let me use it sometimes, to get the plate and to look at the custom shop that built this damn thing. All the windows were blacked out. You could see suction cups for all the camera hardware mounts. And it's a place called Poison Spider Customs, based out of Hemet, California. And or wherever Hemet is. But you know where Hemet is if you watch anything related to Scientology. It's where Gold Base is. It's where the hole is. It's where I was. It's where people were wanting to recruit me for Golden Era Productions. So. There was almost 5 years of constant physical, mental, emotional stress. And back at that time, there was, and I just gotten out of a mental ward for what they call SIHI, and that was due to well, I was seeking therapy because I took Cowboy out in the middle of nowhere and threatened his life. And afterwards, I realized how dangerous the situation was. The reason I did that was another thing I can't talk about, and it involves minors. And not domestic violence and potential domestic violence with minors. So I kind of lost my cool, I lost my composure, and I acted in the way that survival mode, and I spent 9 days in a ward. You might remember that. It was a timeout, very much needed. So I got out, Not the first person from YouTube that I met in real life that's helped me. Not the first person on YouTube that has helped me. Never imagined the amount of support would be there. And I'm very grateful for all of that. So, so the bad news, right? The bad news is that dead girl and I were going to have a child, and we lost the child very early. The most unfortunate fact about this situation, to me, I can only speak for myself, is that her father was an OBGYN, not nurse practitioner, is that right? Nurse practitioner, maybe? OBGYN. This guy knows everything about pregnancy. Delivered I don't know how many babies. However, he's very Mormon. And she and I very much wanted to consult with him because there was some complications early on with the pregnancy. And they came on quick. And her fear was very much understandable and not something that I would say was irrational, because the stress of losing a child is enough, based, from her experience. She was afraid that her father was going to be very upset that we weren't married, and also indicate that because we weren't married is the reason we lost a child, and it's just God's will, not like a very, very cold reaction. So she didn't call, and I don't blame her. And it led to some a lot of conversation, about what she's gone through in her life, some of the feelings that she deals with, regarding her family. And it was a very emotional experience. Still is. We had a child. Her name, I didn't know until after, but she had picked out a name, and she chose my surname, which was, it's not my surname, but it's my biological surname for our daughter's last name, which she thought it was a girl. So Ember Marie LaFleur passed away on May 22nd, 2019. And that was our daughter. And it was very painful. And it still is. That girl has supported me financially, given me a place to stay, a bed to sleep in, food to cook, bathroom, very nice to have. And ask nothing in return. And I won't lie, I felt obligated to give her a child, for us to have a child together. But there was no expectation. So that's one side of things that's been going on. That's the bad. I say it's bad. But what is bad is duality, right? I've been through so much shit at this point that it just is. It just is what it is. On the good side of duality, the studio has been booked solid for since I've been here, and before too. But we've kind of got a system set up now, and been working with game developers on audio for their products, for their video games, music and voices. So we've done, through our talent network, we've done a lot of talent development. And as a result of our work, we've got some big development projects happening. And one of them is requires me to be at the studio to produce it. So I'm headed back to the studio next month. And I've had all kinds of feelings of guilt and stuff about that. You know, I feel like a big asshole leaving. However, Stella and Stone miss me very much. Things have happened since the encounter with Ira Cowboy. Well, I'll just say things have happened. And I've done a lot of, well, put it bluntly, I've been able to rest after many years of fighting. Not just inner conflict that I've had working through the Scientology stuff, but I'm done fighting for my children. That's over. I'm done pretty much fighting the government for disability and SSI. That's coming along. And a lot of the inner conflict has been, you know, I hesitate to say resolved, but when things come up, I notice them and I can look at that and see where maybe it's coming from, and know if it is a real present moment thing, or if it's something coming from some past pain or future fear or whatever. And I can sort of readjust myself into the present moment. So there's been a lot of physical improvements, miraculous physical improvements, if you ask me. When I first got here, I was in constant pain. You know, I can walk around, I can even run. And sleep. I have caught up on years of sleep. Sleep deprivation is no joke. At least for me, I really need my sleep. So I'm headed back to Octane Sound to start production. There's 8 developers right now that I'm working with, and there's more that are that we're sort of beginning to discuss other developments with. It's mostly video game stuff and tech stuff, which is a lot of fun. Acting, voice acting. And Octane has grown. We have new members now. We have new staff. And I'm happy with all of that. And so is the engineer and the other partners in the project. It's all very bittersweet. And but I try to look at the positive, you know. This is a dream job for me. It's something that I left behind a long time ago when I joined staff, and reconnecting to that and doing it with the experience in business and IT and federal government work. I had 2 federal positions. I feel that the experience is going to benefit my career. So, looks like I've only got 5 to 7 minutes left on this video. I'd very much like, because of the nature of the bad that I described in the beginning, that girl has very little support in regards to what happened. So love is for example, the love that I felt from all of you in your support for me in the last 5 years. It's almost 5 years now. It made me feel like I wasn't alone. As there were people around me, my friends and family, that just didn't get it, aren't intuitive or no empathy, not enough understanding or empathy even. So it's been a hard thing for us. And I know that things are going to work out okay. But love and support is always appreciated. And understanding. So that's what's been going on. A lot of production, some personal development and healing, a lot of healing. Dead Girl has helped me a lot, and I'm very grateful. And it feels wrong and right that I'm leaving. And we're both conflicted in that way, I think. She understands that I need to go be a father to my children. And at the same time, she doesn't want to be alone. And the time that we've spent together has been good. But change is coming. I love you all. And thanks, Andy, for asking. And I hope that you're able to continue to heal yourself as well, Andy. Keep healing, man. Take the time. We come into the world with nothing and we leave with nothing, and everything in between is profit. That's one way to look at it. Everything in between is profit. Your pain, your suffering, your joy, happiness, all of it. Nothing is permanent. I know that for a fact. Nothing's permanent. There are no absolutes. So, love each other. I love you. And all my bullshit. Namaste. Live long and prosper. Check out, I'll drop a link down here. Check out the production reels that we did in the last 2 quarters. I think you'll be happy to see that I'm doing something that I love and that it is going somewhere. Okay. Down to the last 30 seconds here. So, it's Wednesday, July 19th, and I'll check in soon. Love you guys.